Hey folks, what's up? This is Adam here. I can't see the guy. Welcome to the Movie Vault. Here to review a Disney film which came out in the year of 1992, and it's a Disney film which I'm really fond of. And like I say, I'm 35 years of age, and even at my age, people love Disney. There's nothing wrong with liking Disney. It's a big part of all our childhoods. We grew up as kids idolising all these lovable animated characters which came out of Disney films, particularly in the 90s. When you're a kid growing up through the 90s, you know. Aladdin's got to be up there with, well, might as well say I'm talking about Aladdin from 1992. It's definitely going to be up there with one of my all-time favourite Disney films, Big fan of Disney. And of course, I'm not just talking about Aladdin, I'm talking about other animated films like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Toy Story. There's just countless animated Disney films which came out at that time which were just very lovable and you become really drawn into them. You know what I mean? And Aladdin's definitely one of them. Oh, God, when I first saw Aladdin, I think I saw it for the first time on VHS when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and fell in love with the movie, and just rewatching it again moments ago, it just reminds me of back when I was a kid and I got really drawn into it. One of the other main reasons is because Robin Williams does the voiceover of the genie in this movie. And again, big Robin Williams fan, grew up loving his movies, loved him in Hook, Mrs. Doubtfire, Flubber, Jack, Jumanji, countless films that starred Robin Williams, and he did the voice of the genie in this animated film, and again, outstanding voice performance, with the way he played the genie, really brought the genie character to life, with all the songs, Never Had a Friend Like Me, and those other things. That's another good thing about this movie, the catchy songs. Again, A Whole New World, my mother absolutely adored that song. That's another reason why this movie holds so close to my heart, is because my mum was always singing Disney songs to herself while she was cooking in the kitchen. And one song she always hummed to herself was A Whole New World, so some lovable memories there, God, I can even remember watching this on one of my birthdays when I was about 7 years old, because my mum had a clown come over to entertain me on my 7th birthday party, and when the clown left, we all gathered round with popcorn and we all watched Aladdin just until my friends all went home. I even remember that. So there's so many memorable moments. I mean, we all hold different memories of all these Disney films, and Aladdin's just one of them that we can all relate to. Okay. Now, like I say, Aladdin, it came out in the year of 1992. Like I say, I was 4 years old, but I didn't really see it straight away when the first movie first came out. I didn't see it till I was like about 5 or 6 years of age. You know what I mean? So I didn't see it straight away when it came out. Like I said, I was 4 years old when this movie first came out, so I didn't see it straight away. It was like later on down the line. But cut a long story short, the plot's very simple. Taking place in Agrabah. We introduce firstly the villain called Jafar. He's trying to get into the Cave of Wonders in order to get the lamp so he can get granted the 3 wishes. But the keeper of the Cave of Wonders says the diamond in the rough will only be allowed to enter, and Jafar is determined to find that, diamond in the rough, because he gets his slave to go in and he ends up being buried alive. It cuts to Aladdin, who lives on the streets. He's poor, but he's very kind-hearted, and he's trying to run away from the Sultan's guards after stealing this bread. We get introduced to this song straight away, One Step, and what was good about this was the pace of the song, where he's singing, where he's trying to get away from the Sultan's guards, and it's just one big funny adventure, how he's trying to get away from the guards. I mean, the leader of the guard has this obsession with Aladdin, because apparently he's been trying to capture him for a long, long time, but never succeeds to do it. So he's got like this hatred towards Aladdin because he makes him look weak. Because I mean, the Sultan's guard is like this big buff guard, and no matter how hard he tries to try and capture Aladdin, he always fails. So he's got like this obsession, like to try and capture Aladdin, and has a strong hatred for him because he never succeeds. And like I said, we get that song One Step, and a very catchy song. One thing I can say about the songs in this Disney film, they're very catchy, and if they're not catchy, they're like somewhat likable to some sort of way. But he introduces Aladdin and his pet monkey Abu. Like I say, we learn that they only steal to survive, because they want to steal food, in order to live. And apparently Aladdin's been on the streets that long, he's now a genius at it, he knows how to steal food, in a genius type of way. And his pet monkey Abu helps him. Uh, One thing he's always wanted to do is to always visit the palace in Agrabah. He's always been intrigued, like what it's like to live there, to have servants and people waiting on you, and live a rich life. And that day encounters when we get introduced to the princess, and her father, the Sultan. The Sultan is trying to find a husband for his daughter, Jasmine. Jasmine wants to marry out of love, not out by force, and she ends up getting sick of all the pressure and she ends up running away from the palace. And that's when Aladdin and Jasmine first meet, because Aladdin's got in his mind that she's another poor girl living on the streets. He doesn't know that she's the princess until later on, until Aladdin gets captured by the guards. But instantly he falls in love with her, when he saves her from getting a hand chopped off by one of the marketeers, because she ends up giving the little boy an apple, from the stall. And while all this happening, Jafar is determined to find out who the diamond in the rough is. But then after he steals the Sultan's ring by possessing him with the snake staff, he finds out that Aladdin is the diamond in the rough. That's why he captures him. And there's a scene, in the dungeon where Jafar disguises himself as a prisoner, an old man prisoner. He ends up breaking Aladdin free, taking him into the desert, and he's going to lure Aladdin into the Cave of Wonders to get the lamp for him. Warns him not to touch any of the jewels, also get buried alive. Blah blah blah. Anyhow, the unfortunate thing happens. Abu becomes possessed by this diamond. He ends up just a diamond, and they meet a magic carpet, and they escape the Cave of Wonders. Well, but don't manage to succeed straight away because Jafar betrays Aladdin, and Aladdin ends up getting buried in the cave, along with the carpet and Abu. But Abu manages to steal the lamp from Jafar just before they were buried, and Jafar's left without the lamp. And then, of course, when Aladdin erupts the lamp, out comes the genie, and from that stage forward, it's just like one big comedian ride. Robin Williams doing what he absolutely does best, that's entertaining, because Robin Williams by far was one of the all-time greatest comedians. It's just a tragic shame how his life came to an end. Masterpiece job of voicing a lot of the genie. And then he does that song of A Friend Like Me, and again, he couldn't have performed it in any other better way. It was catchy, it was very entertaining, outstanding performance with the voice of the genie, And he ends up freeing Aladdin from the cave, he grants Aladdin 3 wishes, but while he's granting Aladdin 3 wishes, Genie confirms that the only thing that he'd wish for is for freedom, because he's a prisoner of the lamp. So he makes a deal with Aladdin, and Aladdin says, after he makes 2 wishes, on the third wish, he'll wish the genie free. The genie says that one thing he can't do with one of his wishes is make people fall in love, so Aladdin does the next best thing by wishing to become a prince. And then when he makes him become the prince, Aladdin's on this one big mission to try and find the princess, and he wants to marry her, and because he's the girl of his dreams, basically. And in the meantime, Jafar's just determined to find the lamp, and we get that next great song in the middle act. Prince Ali, Mabilasi, Ali Ababa. Again, great catchy music and great animation. One thing I want to point out before I go any further is I have to say one of the best scenes in this movie was Aladdin and Abu trying to escape the Cave of Wonders on the magic carpet, with all the lava. I like how the scenes cut from scene to scene. When I was trying to escape, like this, the corridor was like rotating, and I go through a passageway. Great animation in this movie, Aladdin, for a 1992. It was really good animation-wise, with all the colours and all the special effects. I mean, I'm not just saying that from the Cave of Wonders. I thought they did the terrific scene towards the end, where Jafar turns into the snake and becomes the genie. Again, all the mixture of colours and all the animation. Really well done for a 1992. You know, Aladdin and Jasmine end up falling in love, but she doesn't know Aladdin's true identity. She thinks she really is a prince, and when really he lives on the streets. This is determined later on, where Jafar's getting all the power because he becomes the owner of the lamp, and he's using all his greed and evil, to try and take over Agrabah, become the sultan, and he wants to marry the princess so he can become like the official sultan in the future. You know, So it's like one big ride fight over the princess, basically. Jafar's just determined to, marry the princess, and Aladdin's just trying to stop him. And you got the help with the genie along the way. I mean, I like the little twist at the end. How Aladdin tricks Jafar into believing that he'll never be as powerful as a genie unless he becomes a genie himself. So then Jafar wishes to become an all powerful genie, and he gets trapped in the lamp. And then he gets blasted into the desert, thinking that's the official end. Until they came out in, I believe it was 1994, The Return of Jafar, the sequel that came out, which I love just as much. It wasn't then until that came out, But again, a very enjoyable, lovable film. I mean, I really like that scene where Aladdin and Jasmine are on the magic carpet going through Agrabah and expressing their love for each other. A whole new world. I'd have to say my favourite song has to be A Whole New World. I mean, there's been so many reenactments from that movie. I mean, the voiceover was just sang so spot on, for a love song in the film Aladdin. And again, I got fond memories of my mother. She's no longer with us now. But she used to sing that song to herself all the time while she was cooking in the kitchen. A whole new world. So it does a whole special place here. The songs do. But the overall film or overall Aladdin's definitely going to be on the top there in the top 10 of my all-time favourite Disney films. And I like the happy ending as well. Where the genie gets free. Aladdin ends up marrying Jasmine. It's just one big happy ending. And again, this film had a mixture of everything. It had a mixture of romance. It had a mixture of good morals, good songs. I think he was trying to also send a message out that despite people like Aladdin who were poor doesn't mean they're bad people because he showed kind-heartedness. He just goes to show he's human, just like everybody else. Because Aladdin's kind-hearted because there was an opportunity in this movie, where he escapes from the bread and he sees these two poor children. He gives the bread to the children. Kind of like a bit of a Robin Hood type of feel. Robbing the rich to feed the poor and all that kind of thing. So it had a really nice touch to it. And again, I've got no complaints about the movie Aladdin. Usually there's dips and dabs of pieces of problems, but I didn't really find that. And what was so great about this film was the pace. I mean, how long was this movie for? Please let me look this up. How long this movie was actually on for? 90 minutes. And again, it went at a fast pace. And I hear that the new film Aladdin, the live action film, with Will Smith, was on for like 2 hours. And I was like, you really need to make an Aladdin film for 2 hours straight. I mean, I'm not seeing it. I'm not going to judge it just yet. And I like Will Smith as an actor. But how can you, make a film out of Aladdin for 2 hours and end up flopping when you can make a Disney film out of it for 90 minutes and end up making it being a big success? I mean, how does that fucking work? But again, thanks for watching this, everybody. I really enjoyed reviewing this. I mean, Aladdin, what more can I say? All-time classic, one of the best Disney films ever made. Definitely one of my top 10. It's one of those Disney films I can watch over and over again. Still enjoy the characters, still love the songs. And again, I just rewatched it moments ago to do this review, and again, it was like being a little kid again. All the memories hitting you. Even the opening song's catchy. An Arabian Nights. Great opening, great in the middle, great at the end, great ending, lovable characters. And again, really enjoyed doing this review, everybody. It was like going back in time and being a little kid again. So thanks for watching this, everybody. Email me if you've got any questions, and we'll see where we go from here on the Movie Vault. Thanks for watching this, everybody. Aladdin. Loved it. Thanks, everyone. Peace out.